Hello and welcome to a new series of rugby league action, and I can promise you a really cracking match to kick off this first programme. 11 tries and action all the way from two top sides, both of whom have eyes on Wembley and next weekend's quarter-finals of the Challenge Cup. Widnes, the cup holders and current league leaders, are setting a murderous pace at the top of Division 1, and Leeds, just inside the top 8, are looking decidedly dangerous again in the cup. So, Widnes and Leeds, two of the best free-running sides in the game, and renowned for their open play, a natural choice for our cameras at Norton Park yesterday. And
Widnes well on course for the double. They're top of Division 1 with 19 wins and a draw in 23 games. And to stay in front, they'll have to dig deep into their enviable squad strength in depth. They're without Mick Burke, Andy Gregory, Eddie Cunningham and Brian Lockwood, but can call on John Myler, David Hume, Tony Myler and Steve O'Neill. And at scrum half, in place of Andy Gregory, who's the current Great Britain scrum half, is David Hume. He's the present Great Britain under-19 scrum half and regarded as a certainty for the under-19s Tour of Australasia. Leeds are 6th in Division 1, and after a bad start to the season, they've won 10 of their last 11 matches, and they're looking for a top 8 playoff place. They're also in the quarter-finals of the Challenge Cup. And they too have injuries. Centres Les Dill and Dave Heselwood and winger John Atkinson are out, and so is second row forward Keith Ray. Tony Binder, who's on the transfer list, is the fullback, Neil Haig and Ian Wilkinson the centre, and on the wing, making his first senior appearance, is Graham Brearley, a young lad, one of the crop of Leeds wingers that seem to come out of the reserves regularly, and he's been making a big impression in A-team rugby. Jerry Kershaw of York, wired for his heart rate by Salford University Human Laboratory performance. But we move into rugby league performance, and it's Leeds in possession immediately. Right from the kickoff, Ward, Holmes, Dick, Carroll, just over the Widnes 25. There's Ward, second man, Holmes, Tony Burke. Burke still going, my word, what a good run by Tony Burke. £25,000 from Bramley. Still learning the game and learning well. That's Dickinson. And Dick knocks on. Has to let off for Widnes as Hume comes away with it. That's the part of the Widnes screen. Doug Lawton wearing a cap and Martin Smith nearest the camera. He's the sub. This time it comes out of the Widnes side. Really dumped Hume. Adams to Steve O'Neill. Crawley gets it out. Prescott evades the gravity. Shirt tails. Adams, Steve O'Neill, Tony Myler trying to find a gap. Gets it out. Quick bit of passing there by Kieran O'Loughlin. Almost got Bassett away. Tony Myler, Steve O'Neill, Adams, Gawley coming on it. Inside to Mike O'Neill. To Steve O'Neill. Widnes really moving the ball now, looking for this opening score. There's Adams coming to kick. O'Loughlin, play on to the referee. No obstruction. Mark Masser picking it up. Pitchford. Carroll getting out nicely to Ward, and Ward trying to find it. It went loose. But really both these sides are opening up the game. Steve O'Neill has gone on to it. It's Adams selling the dummy, the short ball to Tony Myler. Keeps his legs, fires it out towards Bassett, and he took it. Bassett's in. He took that and scored. John Bassett. His 18th try of the season, played by Adams and Tony Myler.
That's the experience of Nick Adams here. Tremendous burst by Myler. And the long ball slightly forward, perhaps. No, he plays it with his foot. Beautifully gathered by young John Bassett. And the opening try to Widnes.
And it's John Myler who kicks the goal. His 46th place kick goal of the season. Leeds ball, Dick, Holmes, Binder again up. Leeds going for a score which would get them back into this match. They trail 5-0. They didn't pick that up. Widnes tackling hard, as they always do. As Burke. Just over the Widnes 25, Leeds in possession. David Ward acting half back. Dickinson driving in, doing the props job, gaining the ground, setting up a platform for the backs. There's Dick, there's Holmes, inside to Pitchford, Pitchford to Dick, Dick still going, strongly, he's over, what a good try by Kevin Dick, and how typical, he just ploughed his way through. Kevin Dick.
The old Leeds old firm. Holmes into Kevin Dick. Link with Stevie Pitchford, and watch how he knocks away this Widnes defence. Doug Lawton won't like that, but he's a strong, determined boy. Fine individualist try there.
And he'll take the kick as well. Kevin Dick, his 11th try of the season, and he's setting himself up to kick his 67th goal. What an all-rounder. Yes. Not much doubt about that, so Leeds are back in it at 5-5. Kevin Dick, really valuable all-rounder. He's a scrum half, but he's as heavy as a prop forward, and like Pitchford, runs his weight. Heron. Almost getting away, but Gawley had him round the leg. Holmes to Ward, picking it up again. Pitchford and Tony Myler just over the halfway line. All action stuff this. No time to breathe. Adams. Steve O'Neill, Elwell, Mike O'Neill. Elwell to Adams, Steve O'Neill, Gawley. Back, there's Adams. Out of the tackles comes John Hume. What an elusive little character. We're on the 6th tackle. And Widnes has set up. Adams working a move, working a dummy. Oh, good dummy. And lucky that for Widnes. Came back to Adams. That was real luck. But it gives them 6 more tackles. Myler. Myler's in. Myler's wriggled his way through. Tony Myler.
Well, a lucky rebound here for Churches into the arms of McAdams. Here we go. John Martin. Eric Hughes, sorry, number 3. Tony Myler now. Bursting through some poor tackling, it has to be said, but he's there, he's strong, he's determined.
John Myler. Played it just outside. Widnes 8, Leeds 5. Holmes. A long one fired out to Wilkinson, taken well. What a strong, firm runner this centre is. Holmes saw the gap and put Wilkinson through it. Really is acting half-back. There's Holmes again. Carroll, Dickinson, Burke. And he's lost the ball, but it's come back again. And it's a penalty. O'Loughlin was in an offside position. O'Loughlin was standing in front of his teammate when that ball rebounded, so the luck perhaps evens itself out. This is a kick for Dick. Kevin Dick to take a kick at goal. It's a good one. 8-7. Elwell to play the ball. The first drive from Steve O'Neill. Hume, Adams. Who's going to get it now? Les Gawley. there to work out one of their close to the line moves to Adams. Adams to Hume. Hume through himself. And in. A good try. The reserve half-back has got it again.
Beautifully timed pass from the experienced Adams to the youngster Hume. A little dummy, and he's away and over. What a good try for this very promising young man.
And it's quite a difficult kick for John Myler. He missed one slightly easier when Tony Myler went over. Right-footed kicker. Put the last attempt outside the post, and that's moving the other way. So a miss by John Myler. The score, Widnes 11, Leeds 7. Elwell, Steve O'Neill, Adams, Hughes. Oh, a lovely centre break by Hughes. He's looking for right. He gives it to right. And he's beat really easy on the outside. A classically simple and beautifully worked try. Classic centre play by Hughes.
Adams to Eric Hughes. Now watch this fine inside break by the experienced Eric Hughes. And now he's away, keeping his cool, looking for his winger, number 2, Stuart Rice. And it's goodbye and good night from then on. Stuart not going to miss this one.
John Myler, well, they're not making it easy for John Myler. They're putting the touchdowns near the corner. There's the kick, and has he got it right this time? No. Same angle as last time. No goal. Widnes lead 14-7. 4 tries to 1, but because John Myler hasn't quite got his marksmanship right, a try and a goal from Leeds could put them right back in this game before half-time. Well, Prescott, Adams, up in the line. It's Tony Myler. The touch judge is on. I think he's going to elect either Holmes or Pitchford. Committed an offence in that tackle. Tony Myler roughed up a bit. The touch judge on.
Tony Myler trying to burst away from John Holmes and Stevie Pitchford. And a little dig from Stevie there. The referee, Jerry Kershaw, right on the spot, and a penalty to Widnes.
And John Myler, having missed with 3 kicks from tries, is going to try and land a penalty. He's much straighter, much more in line with the post. Hasn't quite got the angle to cope with. And apart from the 2 points, it's a good idea to kick and give him his confidence back if he lands this one. Yes, 16-7. John Myler's second goal of the match and 47th of the season. Gawley. Getting the treatment, and he's a big lad. So are Burke and Dickinson. Oh, nicely flipped out by Steve O'Neill. Little Elwell. David Hughes getting one tackle. But Heron got in. But Widnes keeping it moving. They've had possession now for something like 10 minutes. Here's Prescott still going. Basnett's outside him. Kieran O'Loughlin inside. Basnett going to the corner. The powerful leg. He did. Basnett's second try. Great stuff.
Surely one of the tries of the season. Again, it starts with number 13, Nick Adams, starting like that. Now, Eric Prescott, watch this beautiful inside pass. On to Kieran O'Loughlin, bags of experience here. And a long lob pass, and John Basnett in again at the corner, bursting through Tony Myler's tackle. Beautiful second try for John Basnett.
John Myler, well, he's had some hard ones on the right-hand side. Now he's got a hard one. As a right-footed kicker, he's a better chance of this. It'll curl the right way. And hit the upright. And the amazing thing about this is that Leeds are not playing at all badly. Haig is acting half-back. to Holmes. Heron. Carroll. Head high tackle. That's another penalty. And a talking to. O'Loughlin. The offender.
Number 12, John Carroll on the ball, and he gets what we call a coat hanger from Kieran O'Loughlin. Swings round his neck. Clear case of a penalty, no question.
Well now, can Leeds work a move now in the last couple of minutes before half-time? Pitchford ramming it in. Ward calling the shots. Dickinson. Burke. He looked for someone on his right. But it's just been a long sequence of Leeds attacking. Ward to Carroll. Heron. Widnes having to tackle hard. Ward. Holmes. Holmes a short one to Haig. A hand knocks it down and really has to tidy it up. 6 more. A Widnes hand got him away. Wilkinson. Dickinson. Leeds making a strenuous effort to score. Carroll. John Carroll dummying. Going well. 5 yards from the line. Ward to Holmes. Inside to Pitchford. Pitchford and Ward is in. David Ward from Pitchford. It was worth all the work.
Well, how well did Stevie Pitchford does here, taking the reverse pass from Gunham. There he is, number 10, driving hard like the battleship he is. David Ward still has a lot to do, but once he sees that try line, it's there, and 3 very important points to Leeds just before half-time.
And as Kevin Dick bangs the ball through to make it 19-12, a blow for Leeds. Steve Pitchford took an off. And he's holding his wrist, but he's staying on the field. Well, 19-12 looks a lot healthier for Leeds than 19-7. As we come up to half-time, Heron. The hooter, and after magnificent 31 points in the half, splendid flowing, exciting football. Widnes 19, Leeds 12. And we kick off for the second half, and for his thoughts on the first half, David Oxley.
What a feast of football for the return of rugby league action. It's a tribute to the depth of talent at both clubs, because despite the enforced team changes, the fans have already had 80 minutes value. Leeds must have been wondering just what hit them at 19-7 down and a minute to go to half-time. They started so well, with Dickinson and Pitchford driving in hard and often, and Holmes and Dick doing the prompting, but it was Widnes, of course, that scored the tries, 5 of them in all, and all crackers. Youngsters like David Hume and Tony Miner combined really effectively with Mick Adams and Eric Hughes and Eric Prescott, who provided the experience, and Widnes' defence has also been the sure, I think. But that David Ward try just before the break would have given Leeds just the lift they needed, and it's all to play for now in this second half.
And Leeds have made a substitution. Kevin Rain, one of the twins on the side, with the ball at the moment, has come on for Steve Pitchford, who was holding his arm painfully just before the break. In comes Mike O'Neill, gets it out to Gawley. Gawley on the Leeds 25. Elwell, Steve O'Neill, picked up well by Prescott. Hume is acting half-back. Steve O'Neill, Gawley, Adams, Tony Myler, the gap's there. Tony Myler with him, Hughes. Hughes is in for his 200th try of his career. He wanted that. 200 tries. Made by Myler.
And it's Tony Myler, put through by Mick Adams. Eric Hughes going for that line. Nobody can stop him. His 200th try of his career.
to 12. So Widnes start the second half as they began the first. The action flowing. Widnes inside the Leeds half. And whose ball is that? It's scoops and kicks and the ball down. Adams got it and also got a bump from Rain. I think when Mick Adams plays his ball, he'll have a little breather because he's certainly got a cracked head. Mike O'Neill to Kieran O'Loughlin. Oh, Adams is getting in the line again. Here's Steve O'Neill. Leeds must wonder what they have to do because they've not played badly at all, but they've had to take some scintillating attacking from Widnes. There's Hume. Les Gawley going on his own, looking for support, and no one quite in the right position. They were all scooting up. Elwell, Adams, O'Loughlin, and relief for Leeds as David Ward picks it up.
Les Gawley, what a great run here, but a brave tackle by Tony Binder there. Looking for support, not quite coming.
Needs a bit of support. Victor Holmes to Heron. Carroll, Ward. Leeds once again in the position of needing a score to get back into this match. Trailing again by 12 points, 24-12. Here's Holmes, the long one to Kevin Rain. Not a good one, but taken well by Wilkinson. Wilkinson, hard man to tackle, but Leeds have made ground into the Widnes half on the sixth tackle. Kevin Rain to Holmes. Quick ball by Heron to Carroll. Carroll wanting to give it out and can't, and that's 6 tackles in the scrum. Widnes ball, Hume. Tony Myler looking for a gap, didn't find it. Holmes and Burke got in the way. Hume to Adams. Adams, oh, Hughes on the burst. Hughes scorching through. Eric Hughes, can he make the line? He's got support. He's got Hume. Bassett's coming up, but Hume's got to do it himself. Hume in for his second try. Made by Hughes. Another cracker.
It's Mick Adams once again. What a beautifully timed pass to put Eric Hughes clear. And Eric Hughes, as he runs into the cover, has young David Hume beside him, and he's striding for the corner, partly caught. Second try for this very promising young stunner.
And the strength of this Widnes performance, again to underline it, Leeds are giving their all and are not playing at all badly when they're allowed to. John Myler. Yes, it's there from the left-hand touchline. 29-12. Two good rugby playing sides at Norton Park this afternoon. And Eric Hughes is leading the team. To a tremendous round of applause. And the substitute is Jeff Ford. Well, we don't know what the nature of Eric Hughes' injury is. There's no sign of injury when he went through to make that try for David Hume, but he's done his job. And now Widnes coming on. Tony Myler, Kieran O'Loughlin. Hume. Well tackled by Masso, watching him carefully. Adams, caller-in-chief on the Widnes side. Steve O'Neill to Mike O'Neill. Dick it was who rebounded, and the ball is taken off him by Heron. set up by Leeds. They're not going to take a hiding easily, Leeds. They're still in the game, trailing by a lot of points, but still giving it their best. That's David Ward. Dick. Rain. Dick is acting half-back. Carroll. Oh, good break by Carroll. Looking for support. He was unlucky there, John Carroll. It was a magnificent break, but the momentum's still going. 6 more tackles. Ward to Burke. Burke over the 25. If someone had been up with John Carroll then, that would have been a try. Haig. Carroll's hurt as it goes on. Heron to Haig. Haig to Holmes is in. John Holmes behind the post. Another lovely try in this feast of a match.
One Leeds badly need here. David Heron brought onto the ball. Watch how he uses it cleverly. Stands up in the tackle. Looks for the support, which is there this time from Neil Haig. As he takes the tackle, the support is there again. And a good try for John Holmes. One Leeds badly needed at this stage of the game.
Yes, so the margin is 12 points, but Leeds coming back all the time, making a real competitive match of this. And we've had some spectacular rugby from Widnes. Dick putting them all in. When he runs back on his ends to get straight. Penalty to Leeds. Taken quickly. Carroll, Heron, Holmes, Binder. And that will be a penalty against Widnes. O'Neill putting his elbow in Binder, I think. Getting a talking to, but it looked like Steve O'Neill. But at the end of the matter, it's a penalty to Leeds. And is Kevin? No, they're not going to kick a goal. They're too far behind. John Holmes is going to find touch. And Leeds, who haven't given this one up as a lost cause by a long chalk, will be playing the ball. It's David Ward. Burke still going. 12 yards from the Widnes line. Wants to get up and play the ball. That's Ward to Dickinson. Dickinson to Rain. Rain still going forward. 5 yards from the line. Leeds looking for another try to bring them closer to Widnes. There's Dickinson. Oh, a nice dummy by Heron. And it still runs loose. Still, Carroll saying, come on, where are you? Holmes to Dick. Kevin Rain's in. Oh no. A penalty. No, it's a forward pass. What a lovely move. It looked a good try, but it was a forward pass.
John Holmes prompting as ever to his co-partner Kevin Dick. But that was the pass that was just slightly forward. Mr. Kershaw in a good position to see. Sadly, for Kevin Rain, no try.
Adams, ready to work on O'Neill, Mike O'Neill, Myler, O'Loughlin, Wright. Wright and Holmes engaged in heated conversation. Mike O'Neill. Adams to Gawley, to John Myler, to O'Loughlin. John Myler, Hume, Prescott, Elwell, Adams. 66 tackle, Elwell. An attempted drop goal by John Myler, and it's over. Another point to Widnes. 30 points to 17, a John Myler drop goal.
Well, John Myler joining the attack here from fullback number 1. There he is, plenty of time, just sizes it up and pushes Widnes further ahead.
David Ward and Keith Elwell nuzzling each other's cheeks down affectionately, trying to get their heads into the scrum. We're getting them across to the 10-yard line. The Widnes have decided to stay where they are. The one half of the scrum's here, and the other half is, well, somebody ought to introduce the two packs. Come and join us. Right. Now get in together. Ooh. Oh, God. I'm surprised it sparked didn't come off Mike O'Neill's head then. Now, any more of that, you're off. You too. What a dialogue was going on between Gary Kershaw and the pack then. It ended with a penalty to Widnes. Oh, I'm glad about it. I wasn't there in the middle of it. So, Elwell, Prescott, Adams, Mike O'Neill. Prescott, David Hume, Adams, John Myler up in the line, looking, no, what a dummy. The dummy left Tony behind the notebook. John Myler. Nice switch of play this. John Myler coming in the line. This must be the biggest dummy since Archie Andrews, I think. There he goes. He's Tony behind the stranded, unopposed. Yet another Widnes try. And John Myler to try to kick the goal to his own 8th try of the season. And he does. Widnes move up to 35-17 after that lovely move. Really was a bit of exhibition play that towards the end of this game. 80 magnificent minutes. We're into added time. And there's the hooter. A superb all-action game. The final score, Widnes 35, Leeds 17. And we'll rejoin David Oxley for his thoughts on the match.
I suppose many people thinking of the scoreline might view this game as a powder-puff affair before the serious business of Sunday's Cup ties, but not a bit of it. Leeds contributed a lot to this game and put the Widnes under a lot of pressure. But of course, once Widnes break out, they move the ball so well and they support so intelligently that tries are bound to come.
One of the things about Widnes is that year after year they turn this sort of stuff out towards the end of the season when it's critical. They are a very professional outfit.
In every and best sense of that word they are. They've got great depth, and it must be marvellous for, for youngsters like David Hume and the two Mylers and John Basnett to be learning their senior football alongside such great players as Mick Adams and Eric Hughes. They couldn't want a better grounding. So there's great depth. They spot youngsters early, they offer them the right sort of sensible terms, and of course they reap the rewards.
So, as I promised you, a flying start there of the new series, thanks to some outstanding play from Leeds and Widnes. And that result, of course, gives Widnes their 9th victory in a row. But Lee and Hull are right behind them, just waiting for a slip. The big problem for the two Hull clubs is the heavy backlog of fixtures, which could tell against them in the busy closing weeks of the season. Fulham's Steve Diamond maintained his record of scoring in every match this season, but couldn't prevent a home defeat to Bradford Northern. And that puts Fulham in danger of returning straight back to the second division.